Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this. This is your weekly Kocosports.net SmackDown live review for the 17th of January 2017. I'm your host, LK from Kocosports.net, going solo once again here today on the channel. I was meant to be joined by Boom Booms. However, he sadly fell asleep. So if you want to send hate mail his way, you can send it at boomboomsstockings.net. So with that done, then out the way, Memphis, Tennessee was where the show was held. So we'll jump straight into it because it's very late my time and I want to catch a Monday night for once. Again, live commenters, if you're listening live, please put in the comments, do you give the show a win? Do you give the show a loss? Or do you give the show a tie? Also, with that being said, post live, leave your comments, thoughts, and queries about the show. I will personally respond to each and every one of them. So, Shane O'Mac, he comes out now. I did an article today on Kocosports.net about Shane McMahon having a big announcement for today's SmackDown Live. And I was thinking to myself, what could it be? What could it be? You know, my initial reaction was maybe that, remember Monday Night Raw have the cruiserweights? I was thinking possibly SmackDown Live could get the WUK wrestlers. And I was thinking, you know, that's what they could do. And that would be very, very interesting if they did that. But then I thought to myself, nah. Do you know what the announcement was? It was that the Elimination Chamber, which we all know is taking place because the WWE Network itself have been talking about it on air. There was video promos promoting it. So we all knew the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view was there. And you all knew at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, there will be a Elimination Chamber match. So it didn't take a fucking brain scientist to figure that there will be an Elimination Chamber match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. At least we now know, you know, the match in 4 weeks. You know, the main event, obviously AJ or Cena will be in there. Probably both will be. But either way, Shane announces that in 4 weeks, the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE World Championship. AJ Styles comes out. He interrupts the WWE Champion. He comes out. He's pissed off about the fact, you know, he has to face John Cena. And then 2 weeks after, he has to face 5 other people inside the Elimination Chamber. Kayfabe-wise, that makes sense. And then he says, how about me and my title and my dirty attitude go back to Japan because Shane McMahon dissed his attitude. Big match John comes out. Let's go Cena. AJ Styles. Fucking thunderous, just pumping atmosphere. And I'm praying, imagining 60,000 people at the San Antonio Alamo Dome. Let's go Cena, AJ Styles, and I think it's going to be absolutely breathtakingly brilliant, the crowd for that. And I was thinking to myself the other day, how is the Rumble going to work match card layout? Are they going to have the Rumble go on last? Or are they going to have the 2 title matches on before? Or are they going to have them after? If so, what title match goes on last and why? Does the Cena and AJ one go on last because it's for the big W title, but then they want to make the Universal title important and Roman Reigns is in it? I don't know. It's very interesting to see what they do. We'll just have to wait. Miz and Maurice also come out. Miz says he'll win back the Intercontinental Championship, win the Royal Rumble, and headline WrestleMania. And he's such a good promo. Miz is such a good promo. Miz and AJ Styles exchange some promos. Shayna then makes Miz versus AJ Styles right now. Now, automatically, I don't like this. And there's a simple reason why I don't like this. And the reason for that is the fact that it's 2 heels wrestling each other. Why? No reason. Like Cena in this opening segment pissed me off when he was trying to like, oh, he just said that about your wife. Like, fuck off. Okay, you shouldn't be doing that. He was on commentary for this next match. He was tolerable, even though he was plugging his films, TV shows, commercials, pornos like fucking crazy. But apart from that, I didn't mind it. I like the announcement for the Chamber. I think it wasn't a huge announcement like WWE.com portrayed it out to be. Apart from that, it was okay. Okay, so we'll start on there. So it wasn't too bad. And then we go AJ Styles versus The Miz. Big Match John's on commentary. Again, he's just plugging everything. Like, if he had a sex tape with Nikki Bella, I reckon he would plug it. I am generally being serious. If he had a sex tape with Nikki Bella, he would have plugged it here because he plugged everything that he does. And I understand, you know, it's what he does, but it's very annoying. And he kept talking about Michael Cole. Now, when I watch SmackDown, I try to forget about Raw. Now, on Monday Night Raw, there is a lot of Michael Cole. And that makes me a bit sad. Even though in the Cruiserweight, the UK Championship Tournament, I thought he was very good. Still, the image of him upsets me. And I'm just checking live comments if you want to me on my phone. And yes, those imbeciles aren't here. So that makes me extremely happy. I don't have to worry about that. And I've got the actual live chat on my laptop. So if they're there, I can block them and report them. I want to thank Fred and Yeti for yesterday for holding down the fort so I can actually concentrate on the review here. So Maurice, she jumps onto the apron. Miz, big boot, sending AJ down to the floor. And Miz, thumb to the eye, DDT. I love the cheating. The issue with this, there is a issue with the cheating. He's doing it to a heel. So you should cheer. Yeah, you cheated the guy who cheats too. I really hated this heel versus heel. And I hate it. Like, babyface versus babyface can work. But a heel versus a heel just quite frankly doesn't work. And even though AJ is cheered here, he's still, in essence, and at the end of the day, a heel. And I didn't like that. And I'm sure if Booms is on here, he wouldn't like that. And Booms will be joining me for the NXT review and then the Lucha Underground. We'll do the Lucha Underground review first and then the NXT after. We'll talk about that later on in the show. AJ then goes to the outside, throws Miz into Cena. Cena just pushes Miz away. That's a DQ. He literally pushed him out the way because he would have landed on him. He literally like self-defense, so I didn't like that. Cena then chases AJ. Miz then tries to attack Cena, but big match John AA's Miz. AJ goes for a springboard phenomenal forearm. Cena AA's AJ. Unlike Monday Night Raw, where I put over Kevin Owens for the first time in about 5 months, looked strong. The champion looked weak. Not only could he not defeat The Miz, but he then went on to get battered by Cena. He didn't get battered, he got hit by finisher. But with that being said, we know next week is the go-home show, or SmackDown's go-home show for the Royal Rumble. And typical, traditional, standard WWE booking, their formula is that the go-home show, well, it used to be anyway, back in the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, is where you get the heat. So you have the heat heading into the pay-per-view. So say Cena gets the upper hand here, next week, AJ Styles gets the upper hand heading into the pay-per-view. And I am very scared that Big Match John will win the WWE Championship, I'm going to be honest. Nikki Bella comes out. She cuts promo saying she wants Natalya in the ring right now. Natalya, she's in the fan. She then goes to the merch store. She's pissed off that she didn't get merch, which makes sense. It says, Nikki will die alone like her ex-uncle Bret Hart. Did I miss something here about some nasty goings-on with Natalya and Bret Hart?
Hello, first-time caller, long-time listener. LK, I just want to know, I like your show. I listen to it all the time. I guess my question for you is, how do you get your hair so shiny?
Holy shit, that is awesome. That is awesome. My God, Booms, I thought you died. No, I thought you fell asleep, so I started.
Me too. No, actually, I did. I did. Confession here, I fell asleep during the Dolph Ziggler, Jerry Lawler segment. I guess it was like the commercial break or something in between there. I must have dozed off because all I know is I just dozed off and I woke up and I said, oh shit, it's about 15 after. I need to get the fuck up. So I checked out what I missed. By the way, I gave the show a win. I was entertained by it. I had to go back and read over like the last few segments, but it sounded like the main event was actually kind of awesome too.
Yeah, it wasn't an awesome match. It was an awesome moment.
Yeah, it was a good moment. So I got that. And for those of you who are like, oh, Booms, you're on. How the hell do you fall asleep? Guys, look, it is right now. As of this recording, it's 10:20 p.m. I've been up since 4 a.m., so kiss my ass.
Yeah, it's just what it's all about, isn't it? I talked about the opening segment. I talked about AJ Miz. And it was strange. I literally talked about how if Booms is here, he would hate the heel versus heel, and then you turn up. Magical. So, Booms, while I sort out live comments, you tell everyone what you thought of the opening segment and the main event.
Well, actually, I didn't mind the opening segment too much. I do like the idea of the Elimination Chamber. I think maybe they're waiting. They're waiting too early to pull the trigger on this because the purpose of the Elimination Chamber, at least way back in the day when it first started, was when they had the brand split. You would have the Royal Rumble, and almost always somebody from Raw would win the Royal Rumble. And you would have the main event set for WrestleMania, but you needed a challenger, a main event set for the SmackDown side for depending on what year it was, the World Heavyweight Championship. So you would pick 6 of the best. You would have them all go at it, and the winner of who would ever come out on top of the Elimination Chamber would main event the SmackDown side or Raw side. Whatever brand lost the Royal Rumble they would go on to be the challenger, and that would be your SmackDown or whatever main event for Mania. Now having AJ Styles it does add an element here. So it made sense of why just those three guys would be in there, and I did like Cena kind of egging it on. And and I don't think heel versus heel is a never. I just wouldn't say you kind of want to avoid it, but this is one of those cases where it would have made sense because they're talking about putting people in this elimination chamber, which you can't put nothing. You can't put 5 other faces in that chamber against AJ Styles. So it makes sense, and of course, AJ's going to be a champion. He's not going to let anybody take his championship for him without a fight. So yeah, it would be natural you'd have egos clash, and plus they didn't give it away. They had a short match. They had about I think it was about they wrestled for about 10 minutes. They went to the outside. They just did the schmoz finish where they threw the Miz into Cena. There was a little bit of a fight. They had a little bit of a 3-way there. And they took it to the back, so nobody won, nobody lost. And you still got 3 more slots to fill for the Elimination Chamber. I think the thing we need to be worried about for Mania is, since Undertaker Cena is apparently off the shelf, what are they going to have Cena do? And I'm thinking it's going to be Styles versus Cena at Mania, and that's where you're going to see Cena tie Ric Flair for 16 World Championships.
Yeah, I think it'll be a Mania. I agree. I think AJ will get the win again because then they can do the story of he just can't beat AJ. He just can't. And then when he finally does it, it's at WrestleMania. He ties the record. Ric Flair can come out. He can hand him the belt, and it'll be all magical. But the question is, okay, so we all know he's going to tie the record. But will he beat the record? And if so, how long would it take from his 16th to his 17th?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think it's going to happen. I honestly think it's going to happen. I think Cena will be 17-time champion, but they'll try to make that 17th one special. I think that it's 17. He'll win at Mania. He'll hold it till I don't think he's going to hold it long. He'll hold it for a few months just to get there, and I think before Cena retires, because his career's starting to wind down and he's a part-timer already, I think when he gets ready to go, hey, you know what, next year I think I'm going to hang it up. I think they'll give him one last title reign, and that'll be 17, and he'll be done.
Yeah, I think it's 17 and done. Unless he just goes, fuck it, we'll make it 18. Fuck it, we'll make it Vince 20. Oh, 21. He just keeps going and going and going. Anyway, we're at the Natalia. So she's in the fans. She cuts a promo. She then goes to merch. She's pissed off she didn't get any merch. Says Nikki Bella will die alone like her Uncle Brett. Jesus Christ. Nikki and Natalia then brawl with security guards, breaking them up. I think this will be a good little Royal Rumble pre-show match. There's heat involved. I think this will be a good little Royal Rumble pre-show match. I don't think it'll be on the main card, but I think they'll get a decent spot on the pre-show. What do you think about that? And what did you think about the overall segment? I quite like the segment. Okay, I like the fact that there's, the women's title rivalry, and below they're not just sitting around and catering doing nothing. They're actually involved in stories themselves. So I kind of like that. And also one more thing, unless I missed this, Carmella and Jobber James Ellsworth, they were meant to do some sort of shopping trip. I didn't see this.
No, I didn't have. I at least didn't. Well, I'm the worst person to ask on this one, but no, it didn't. It didn't happen. At least not as far as I saw. Maybe this
was it on the result?
Yeah, I didn't see anything on it, but maybe it'll be next week. You never know. But as far as the Natty segment goes, I really didn't like it. First of all, props for at least having another women's feud that does not involve the championship. I do appreciate the fact that they're doing that. I just don't like it because it's just so petty. I mean, it's just, and I know that's the purpose. I know it's the purpose. The purpose is just petty, but it just came off between these two as so childish. I mean, it's like you're arguing about merchandising. I mean, are you serious? I mean, this is what it's come to. You're not so much as upset about getting jumped backstage, and Natty, like you're okay, so you're gonna turn your back on your entire family. Oh, my family turn their back on me, yada yada, and you're gonna be upset over merchandise. I'm sorry, I just can't get behind that. I just can't get behind that feud.
I don't know. See, it's not all about that. That's just like the reason why she's mad tonight. I liked it. At least they tried.
I know it's another wrinkle in this feud, but I'm just like, if that's where you're going with it, I'm just like, that's extremely petty, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. You got to get me involved in it, and I was like, okay, you don't have a T-shirt.
That's it. That's all there is to talk about. Then we had Ambrose. Then we had Ambrose versus Randy Orton, and this I like this. Okay, no, I don't. The match was okay, but I like the fact that they're following up on what happened last month, where the Wyatt family took out Dean Ambrose after their match. I really did like that. The match, Ambrose hit a nice tope suicide on Harper, who sacrificed himself. He then walks into a draping DDT by Orton. Ambrose gets the quick win with a roll up. Harper and Orton brawl. Bray separates them. Bray then hits Harper. Orton smiles. Harper leaves as Orton and Bray are in the ring. I enjoyed this, and what I think they're going to do with this is quite obvious already. Is now Harper's going to abandon Bray Wyatt, and now Orton has Bray Wyatt's trust, and he's alone with Bray Wyatt. So I think Orton now is going to turn on Bray Wyatt, be mega babyface, and now we get Orton versus Bray Wyatt at Mania. Harper, repackage the fuck out of him and make that man a star. Eric Rowan, get another job. Is he on SmackDown or Raw? I can't remember. He's that irrelevant. Eric Rowan.
Eric Rowan's still out. He's hurt.
Yeah, what brand was he on, though?
No, remember, yeah, he was on SmackDown.
Okay, well, he needs to get another job. When he's back in it, when he's rehabbing whatever he's injured, he should be on his phone on whatever website you have in America to find another job, because I really think that's what's best for him. But the match is okay. Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton one-on-one, not main event. What's going on there? What is going on? But it was an okay match. What were your thoughts on it?
I was expecting something a little bit better, but I guess the story is not necessarily the match, which I think they still could have had a good match and, done a little bit more. But now I was expecting something a little bit better, and it was okay. And I guess they were just advancing the storyline. I guess they're setting it up for Randy versus Luke at the Rumble, and eventually they're going to have he'll basically turn on the Wyatt family come the Elimination Chamber, and the Mania you're going to have Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. So they're building up to a Mania match.
Yeah, so slow burn, and I like it. I love it. Just think about it. They started to build in October to build to April. Wow, that's shocking. Then we had the King's Court with Jerry Lawler. You had the guest of Dolph Ziggler. Lawler in essence calls Dolph Ziggler a dick. Dolph Ziggler keeps refusing to talk. Ziggler shows a video of him elbow dropping Jerry Lawler on the heart a few times before he had a heart attack. They then have a really good intense stare down until Lawler says he will always be a loser no matter how many times he changes his attitude. Dolph Ziggler super kicks Lawler in the heart. JBL rushes in, falls over him. One of the funniest things I've seen in my lifetime. He falls over. He goes check on Jerry Lawler. I love that. The little thing of JBL going, oh shit, hearing the headset drop and, seeing JBL attempt, it may have been funny, but not to take away from the actual writing of it and the way it was done, of him actually going in there and checking on his friend. I really like that, because then it makes the commentators look human. Because, the wrestlers are meant to look, supernatural, not supernatural, superhuman. And the commentators should be like us, they're just guiding us through it and telling us a story. JBL there felt like he had a human heart, and then you can connect to him more. I thought that was a really well done segment. The slip from JBL did cost it a little and made it more amusing instead of serious, but if that didn't happen, forget that. If the JBL trip didn't happen, this would have been one fucking hell of a segment. I really enjoyed it. That's the best use of King they've done in years. It felt personal, and it got fucking heat on Dolph Ziggler perfectly. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, from what I actually had to read about this one, but yeah, from the way I read about it, it worked. Yeah, they brought up the heart attack because I remember that match he was in. I think it was a tag team match. He took several elbows to the chest from Ziggler, and while he was on the ropes, he just it was no. After that, he was back at commentary, and he just fell over, just absolutely collapsed during that. So I love the fact that they brought the history up. That made sense. And of course, it made sense why Lawler would just, because you're thinking, well, you're being kind of a dick to Ziggler. What the fuck you think's going to happen? But there was a reason for it. It's like, well, you elbowed me several times. I wound up having a fucking heart attack and almost died. In fact, had that heart attack happened anywhere else, that would have killed Lawler. But luckily, it happened to him at ringside. There was people who noticed there was a problem. They had EMTs right there at the scene, so they were able to help him right then and there, and that's the reason why he's still alive to this day. If he would have had that at his home in Memphis, or out shopping or anything like that, he'd be dead because nobody would have been able to get to him in time. And he kept egging him on, and finally Ziggler had enough, and he super kicks a Hall of Famer. Good use of JBL. Even the trip, worked out. I don't know if that was planned or accidental, but I think it's a happy accident because you're thinking, well, why the hell didn't he just destroy Ziggler? Well, that trip gives Ziggler a chance to escape.
Yep, that's true. Yeah, because
a happy accident.
Yeah, that now we say it like that, it's another element of storytelling that probably JBL did on purpose or was told to do, to say, look, if JBL went in there quick enough, he could have got Ziggler, but he didn't because he tripped. So with that being, that's a great point. That really is. We'll move on to our main event now. Steel cage match for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. You have Alexa Bliss, the champ, defending against Becky Lynch. Not much really happened here, just your standard trying to get out the door, trying to climb over the top of the cage until Lynch hit an exploder suplex off the top for 2, which is really nice. La Luchadora, she stood at the cage door. Lynch then applies the disarmer, but La Luchadora hits a spin kick to the head of Becky Lynch. Bliss hits a DDT to get the win, a 2-on-1 beatdown until Becky Lynch gets a bit of offense in. She takes out Bliss, unmasks La Luchadora. It's Mickie James. James then smiles, kicks the shit out of Becky Lynch, and then stands tall with Becky Lynch holding her up with the SmackDown Women's Championship. Okay main event, but a great ending to an okay to good show. And Booms, what were your thoughts? This La Luchadora.
This match is a lot like the show. I mean, the whole show wasn't necessarily about the matches. It was about advancing storylines. I always hate WWE cage matches. I always hate them because, I really wish they would just padlock the door shut. Because one thing that I always hate is when somebody gets just completely incapacitated. You're thinking, okay, you know what? Just walk out the damn door. And they try to climb the cage. I hate that. Or there's always someone who gets there and blocks the door or whatever. It's just something. I'm just like, can we just please get rid of that? But you have Alexa Bliss retain the championship, and which I think she's doing a phenomenal job as the SmackDown Women's Champion. And I was thinking about her earlier today, and I was saying, you know what? This is not the best work she's doing. I mean, yeah, she's gotten a lot better since her NXT days. She's better now on SmackDown than she was on NXT, and she's only going to get better. She's only going to continue to improve. And then you have La Luchadora come out there and slams the door in Becky Lynch's face, and that instant right there has the face, pardon the expression, save face, because there's a reason now. And then you unmask it. It turns out it's Mickie James. Whoa, what? She's back? Oh my God! What's she gonna do now? And now Becky Lynch is completely out of the title picture. Now she immediately has something to go to, because the obvious question is, well, why not continue to keep going after the championship? Well, now she's got other business she needs to handle first. She needs to get revenge for Mickie James, completely just ambushing her. Okay, that makes sense. So, it's like on the surface, not a huge fan, but after reading about it and seeing how it was executed, I'm good with it. I give it a green light.
Yeah, me too. What do we do Rumble now? because obviously Rumble is not this Sunday, next Sunday, when it comes to the SmackDown Women's Championship, because you got Bliss, the champion, you got Becky Lynch, who's going to be feuding with Mickie James.
Well, here's the thing: the Rumble is both brands, so you don't necessarily have to have every champion out there defending.
I guess, yeah, but you haven't got a US title match. You haven't got an IC title match because they're both in the Rumble. No SmackDown tag title match has been announced. No Raw tag title match has been announced. You have a Raw Women's Championship match of Bayley and Charlotte. And then you got obviously the 2 world titles on the line. So, say Natalya versus Nikki Bella, say Becky Lynch, or they could go down the 3-way route of having a 3-way. I don't know what they could do unless they do on the pre-show Mickie James versus Becky Lynch, and then the winner of that match gets a title match against Alexa Bliss later on in the show. They could do that. I mean, it's just this close to Rumble, not knowing the full card is very strange considering they've had 7 or 6 weeks to build. It's pretty embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we look at it now, you got the Rumble match, you got the Universal title match, you got the World title match, you got the Women's Championship match from Raw. That's all that's really been announced for the Rumble. And it's 4 hours long. That's not including the pre-show. Oh, yeah, we got Neville versus Rich Swann for the Cruiserweight title as well, so that's 5. Damn. But overall, though, SmackDown was a decent show, and we'll get to some live comments. It's hopefully we got some good ones today, not some hate mail telling me to kill myself. Look at that.
Which that ain't gonna happen, so fuck off.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. No, we're all clear. Franielli yesterday, he scared them off with all his deletion. He deleted them. Kevin Eric Snell says, regarding heel-to-heel matches, John Cena's 10-year face run has ruined the face-heel dynamic in WWE permanently. What do you think about that, Booms?
About him ruining the face-heel dynamic? No, I think what he ruined was the fact that he always won. I mean, maybe I'm tired. Maybe we've run this argument in the ground, but he's the only reason why the Nexus angle completely just fizzled out and was destroyed, because he didn't want to lose. He called the audible. He called it right then and there. And this ain't gonna happen. And they always pictured him. They always portrayed him as the underdog. But yet, I mean, he's had like 2 Royal Rumble. I mean, hell, he's done virtually everything you can do in the WWE.
Yeah, but with that being said, at the same time, Cena can go against a heel and be cheered, or he can go against a face and be booed. Or depends who he's wrestling. So I do see to an extent that it kind of kills the dynamic. What I think kills the dynamic is fans go to these events and they cheer for the wrestler they like, whether they're a face or heel. That's we kill the heel or face dynamic. Because if we like Dolph Ziggler, we're going to go to the building and cheer him. Mm-hmm. If you get what I'm saying. So not like obviously saying that all of us do it, but those fans, and I'll put my hands up, be the first one in the air. If there's a heel I like, I'll cheer for him. But that's the problem. You got to get me to hate you, which is part of the issue of no real heels anymore. Chauncey Bullock says, Brother LK and Booms, I knew you'd come. Gary North said, so sick of Cena. If he wins over AJ, I'll be fuming. Well, Mr. Gary North, I'll be expecting you on the Royal Rumble post-show. Very mad. Franielli says, go sleep, Booms. You are grumpy. Kevin Oak Snell.
I don't plan on it.
We will do. I'm going to bed after. I've had a long day. I've literally spent 3 to 4 hours today updating Kocosports.net. I had to do all the podcasts we've done since then. It's been manic, and then I did the news, and then I had to watch SmackDown, and I'm finishing off UFC Fight Night 103. Oh, been manic day, but it's nice to have a day off work, and I got 2 more days off. Fuck yes. Looking forward to that. And then next week, the week of the Rumble, the weekend of the Rumble, that Friday till the Friday after, I'm off. Paid vacation, baby. I'm fucking pumped. Kevin Eric Snell says, wow, look at Boom's heavy eyelids. He's zonked.
Pretty much.
Ranieri then says, I'm already indifferent towards the idea of Cena winning the title again. We have been fed up for this for so long, then I have to come to accept it. That's true. We've been kind of been blessed in a way of not had it just spewed upon us like, oh, Cena wins it. We've had a long time to have it just, okay, Cena's going to win it, Cena's going to win it. And it's now, you're not, oh, Cena's going to win it. It's when Cena's going to win it. Let's just get it done and out the way with. What do you think about that?
What's that again?
Basically thinking of, due to the fact that they have, bled this to the dry. The Cena winning his 16th, they've left it for so long that you kind of, instead of going, oh, he's going to win it, you're like, when's he going to do it? Just get it done out of the way, kind of thing.
I'm looking at that like I did with Reigns' championship victory at Mania last year. It's like I knew it was coming. It's like, let's just go ahead and get this over with. Let's get this abortion over with and just have it done. And that, so that's my attitude with it now. It's like, you know what? It's going to happen, whether we like it or not. So let's just do it now and get it over with. And then you know what? Cena's going to retire within the next 5 years, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. So let's just bite the leather and just deal with it.
Yeah, I agree. I Love 63 says, what do you think about the La Luchadora reveal? I think they should have had a match with Becky versus La Luchadora for the mask at the Royal Rumble. Becky wins, La Luchadora is unmasked. I think they could have done that, but if they're gonna have Mickie James versus Becky Lynch at the Rumble and a high profile match, I'm happy with that. But your idea is perfect and also would make a lot of sense. Kevin X Snell says, me too, indifferent about Cena, the legend accomplishment at this point. It'll happen, don't care, break Flair's record, meh. Yeah, best way of looking at it. I Love 63, question for you, Booms, because you said this earlier on the show. Why is Undertaker versus Cena off the shelf?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine why that match is off the shelf. They came up with several different scenarios. I know Undertaker, Cena was one idea. I know Undertaker versus Strowman was one.
That's a horrible. Sorry to cut you off there. That's a fucking horrible idea. That's a dirty idea.
So right now they've got Taker. He's going to be at Mania, but I don't think he has an opponent. So it's like, who do you think who should his opponent be? And I made a list, but I don't know where I put it. But I made a list of some people I think might actually be credible opponents for him, aside from Strowman or Cena and those ideas they were kicking around. I was like looking around for some stuff, and because this may be Taker's last Mania. Let's be honest, it may actually be. So, but
I don't know. How about this? I think Taker's last Mania will be next year. WrestleMania 34 in the building where the streak ended is the exact same building his career ended. Kind of ironic. Go in the Hall of Fame when they go there next time in like 10 to 15 years. Mm-hmm. They could do that. Kevin X Snell says, don't care if he turns heel, don't care if he beats Taker. Frank Nelly says, I wouldn't be surprised if Cena pulls a Hogan and wrestles way past his prime. Mate, you can picture him do a Ric Flair wrestles till he's 60. May Cod 114 says didn't see it this week. Chauncey Bullock says AJ Styles still the champ that run the camp. Gary North says don't care for Cena at all, just go away and stop ruining all the young talent. We all agree on that. Fran Neely says gotta love WWE storytelling. MA Cod says good match, poor finish. At least Ambrose got the W on Orton. Ambrose needs credibility. Yeah, that's true. I mean, he did lose that AJ Styles feud really badly, and at least the Intercontinental Champion got a win. So at least they're kind of protecting the champion. MA Cod 114 says next week on SmackDown it's Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. I think that could be good. I generally think that could be good. What are your thoughts on that? Where do you reckon they're going to go? Do you reckon it will be Bray Wyatt turns on Harper now? Do you reckon they'll go that way?
Yeah, they may go that way where they have Bray Wyatt turns on Harper, and then that sets them up right for the picking for Orton at Mania. And then Orton can come out and say, I just destroyed the Wyatt family.
Kevin X Snell says, Becky's got a good wrestling build. She doesn't make me cringe when taking big bumps like Sasha Banks. I Love 63 says, I love Alexa Bliss's attitude and her wrestling. She's my favorite women's wrestler in all of the WWE. God, imagine saying that this time last year. You'd been shot on the spot. Chauncey Bullock says La Luchadora is Mickie James. Who next is La Luchadora? Deonna Purrazzo. That's obviously the female who was betraying her before. Kevin X now says, I don't like when they book a lot of tag matches for the Rumble show because it takes too many performers out of the Rumble itself. Shouldn't have that problem this year because the roster's so big. MA Cod gives SmackDown a 6 out of 10. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. All right, we got 4 more booms. Stick with us. I Love 63 says WWE has ruined face versus heel dynamic. They should have turned Reigns heel months ago. Dude, they should have turned him years ago, like a year ago, at least a year ago. Kevin X Snell We'll do the 2 comments after. Chauncey Bullock says, La Luchadora storylines next will be Deonna Purrazzo and hashtag beat up John Cena. And then the last question tonight, Ken X now says, hey, I've got a great and completely 100% original idea for Undertaker's WrestleMania match this year. How about we do Taker versus Kane?
No, they've already done that twice. No.
That's the point. That's the exact point of the joke. But imagine this. Taker's like, there's only one person I want to share a ring with in my last ever match, and that's you, Kane. Oh, God, imagine the crowd. Jeez. They've had, 2 matches at Mania already? Yeah, because they had one at 15, one at 14, and one at 20. Why not do it at 34? Or 33, unbelievable. So there you go. I want to thank everyone for the live comments. I want to thank everyone for not being imbeciles in the live comments as usual. You are great. You are the third man in this 3-man booth. I want to thank you all for watching. Booms, I want to thank you for joining me in this late night in Virginia. I'm going to go get my ass some sleep, wake up tomorrow. We got NXT, Lucha Underground to cover tomorrow, so looking forward to that. And then Thursday, Impact Wrestling. Booms. So lots to look forward to on the channel. We got the Rumble weekend next weekend. We got Takeover as well. So lots to look forward to on the channel. Leave a like. Actually, Booms, you're the best salesman in the business. Do a Dawn West. Go sell me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to check out Kocosports.com because what will you find there? Well, I'll tell you what you find there. You're going to find news. You're going to find all the rumors, all the gossip going on in the world of professional wrestling, but that's not all. We're going to share with you some news about boxing and mixed martial arts. We're going to throw that in for free as well. Then after that, we're going to have links to all the podcasts, all our reviews. So if you want to go back and listen to our raw review, boom, Kocosports.net, you can check it out. Oh, but there's more. We've got TNA reviews. We've got Ring of Honor reviews. We've got New Japan reviews. We've got Pro Wrestling Noah reviews. We've got some stuff going on in the UK. We've got those reviews too there. You can check it out again, but you got to go to Kocosports.com. Also, no extra charge. You can continue to follow us for free, mind you, for free at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. So be sure to like, subscribe to us, because if you do that, you'll be on the cutting edge of everything that we do. There will not be a show that goes by that we won't review. Like coming up, we've got NXT. Then after that, we got Impact. Then after that, we got 205 Live. Then after that, we got a possible Ring of Honor show. We're going to start all over again with Monday Night Raw. We're going to go through the whole week, and we're going to have, at no extra charge here, we're going to have a Royal Rumble review as soon as that show ends. Oh, but I'm not done. No. I'm not done yet. What else we got going on here? We'll also take your live questions and comments. So if you put your questions down here in the comment section, we'll get to them. We'll answer it absolutely free of charge. Now, most people think we would be crazy. I mean, normally you go to these other sites, they'll ask you for money. We're not asking you for a dime. We're just asking you to visit Kocosports.com, Kocosports.net. It's where the world goes to kick ass. It's the most, it's your home for sports. It's okay to be a passionate fan. So be sure to check that out. And, is that good enough?
Good job, Donnie. Good job, Don. Good job. I'm proud of you. Yeah, Kocosports.net. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe, stay well. We'll be catching your asses down the line.